Welcome everyone to Bucks Co Living. I am Anthony Paul Pinto, your host, and today this is our newest podcast, and we're introducing Heather Olsen with True Healing. Heather, thank you so much for joining the podcast today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course. Heather and I recently connected, and I love so much about her. I've been deep diving about her, and I wanted to share with my audience, share with everyone. Heather, take it away. Tell us a little bit about what you do and why you do so much for this community.
So I am known as an intuitive trauma healer. I tap into people's past, present, future. I see the core of where they're stuck at in their life and where they can't move forward. I'm able to connect with the other side, answer questions, help people understand the why of why things happen, sometimes bad things, and help them understand why they chose to come here, their contract, and to move forward. And then I've been doing that for 15 years. And in 2020, I ended up opening up a healing center, True Healing Center over on Hamville Road in Bensalem. And I just wanted to bring people together that all had similar situations and didn't have to feel alone. And because I went through my own trauma and my own difficulties and hardships and had to overcome a lot of things. And the hardest part about healing is when you feel alone. So I wanted to create a community of like-minded people, and so they could come together and not feel so alone in their healing journey.
That's amazing. Now, you said, if you don't mind talking about what set you on this path. You said there was a traumatic incident. Tell me about that.
So my whole life, I've had traumatic incidences that kind of happened. And looking back now, there's some generational trauma and there's different things with growing up and just life in general. But when I was 23, I had a car accident with a brain injury. And I went from working 3 jobs and taking care of everything and having my own house and doing all these things to being completely disabled and not being able to walk because my vestibular system was damaged. I lost my short-term memory and my long-term memory. So I had to find myself again. And I always say, like, a piece of me died that day, and I had to rediscover who I was. And I did the medicine, and I'm not saying medicine's bad, but I did all the medical stuff. I did all these different therapies, and I realized the medications were masking what was really going on. So I ended up getting off of them cold turkey, which I do not recommend for anybody. And it was traumatic to do that. And then I ended up going down the holistic rabbit hole. And little by little, I would do one holistic thing, and then it would bring me to another holistic person and another holistic person. And I started doing Reiki, and I started doing Tai Chi at a senior center, and I started doing cranial sacral and biofeedback and homeopathy and all these things. And as I healed from this brain injury, I also healed from my past traumas and realized that my emotions and the things that I didn't deal with in the past were not allowing me to fully heal what was present.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I ended up getting a little bit better, I went to school for skincare, I became an esthetician, and would work in wellness centers, for 2 to 4 hours a week because I couldn't do anything. I was still on disability, couldn't drive, all these different things. And then I ended up getting married, having baby 1, baby 2. They told me I couldn't have kids. I ended up having kids, a full 9 years. Every time a doctor told me I couldn't do something, I said, watch me. I'm going to challenge me. And fast forward it, I was married at the time. My husband was out of work for an injury. I was out of work because of my disability. And he said, you go back to school, or I go back to school. And I said, all right, I'll go back to school, learn how to fix your shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to school for massage therapy, got to tune into energy work, which was Reiki. And then all of a sudden I was massaging people, and I was like, you're going on a trip down south in 2 weeks. And they're like, what? I'm like, I don't know. And then little by little, everything started happening. And I was just seeing people's lives flash before my eyes and where they were hurt at and where they were let down at, or things that were happening. I was like, I don't know what's going on. And then I talked to people that were mentoring me at the time that were in this industry. And they were like, listen, this is what you're going to do. And I was like, this is not what I'm going to do. Yeah. And then this is what I'm doing. So I believe kind of everything was already mapped out for me before I even was born, but didn't understand it until after things had happened. And so that's why I created a place for people.
That's amazing. You basically healed yourself. You took away traditional medicine. Now, again, we're not bashing traditional medicine, but you found your own path. And then now you're helping other people find their own path. And I witnessed it myself. We had a 5-minute conversation, and you saw me like that. And that was not saw me. I don't think anyone can saw me. But so you have this injury, you have this, you're up against the wall, you have 2 kids, you're on
Yeah.
disability, and then you've built a whole team, you built a whole following, you've a community around you, and what was that where did that lead you from? Because, again, when you first grew up, this was not your calling. You had something
Now,
inkling in your mind, but this wasn't your calling.
Now, it's funny, when I was younger, I remember, like, being, like, in the steps of Northeast Philly, and we do the massage trade, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everybody was massaging each other, and I was like, "That would be a fun job," and then I thought in high school, like, "Maybe I'll go to school for, like, massage and facials." I was like, "That's a European thing, I can't do that." Like, in my head, 'cause logic. So I was like, "I'll be a nurse or I'll be a teacher," and then life happens, and you can't afford college and things like that, and so I was working as an alarm company, programming alarm systems and running companies. And I was a bartender, and then I was a shop girl, and then I was a 50 cent beer girl, and I was a Cardi Limon promotion girl. And like, I was the jack of all trade, master of none.
Mhm.
And I always just knew how to get out of a problem. So I figured out, okay, I can fix this. I can take care of this. Like, I lived in a world where there was always something to fix. So you always fixed it. And every time like somebody said you can't do something, I was like, I'm gonna do it because I want to fix it. So I guess I'm a fixer. But what happened is that True started because I had been divorced. I had 2 kids. They tried Catholic school, they tried private school, and they wanted to try public school. So I started looking outside of Philly because I was not in a place where I wanted to put them in that public school. Unfortunately, now apparently it's much better, but it wasn't before. Long story short, with that one, my person who I was my assistant at the time lived in Bensalem, and she was like, "You need to move to Bensalem. This would be amazing." But she did like yoga and healing work also. And I'll do yoga and I'll do healing here, and then you can do this and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, I don't know. Like, I work in the base of a hair salon. I can work from home sometimes. Like, I don't really know about a center. That's a lot. She's like, and I always said to her, I was like, I want to have a place where I can bring people together. I can give back, support groups and meetups. And she put that right in my face. She goes, "Don't you want to do that?" And I was like, "Fine, you got me." So we ended up meeting many years prior at a playground. And just by chance, and our kids started talking, and here her friend told her about me, that she had to come see me. And she contacts me that day and she goes, "Remember the playground I met you at?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "There's a space across the street from it
Oh,
that's
wow.
available." And I was like, "You're kidding." She goes, "No." So she comes and I'm like, "This is really big. I don't need all this." And she goes, "Yeah." She goes, "We're going to run this." And then I was like, "Okay, fine." And then she helped me create it. It was beautiful, amazing. And I was like still in the room and she was doing the front. And all of a sudden she's, "You know what?" "I'm going to go do my thing now. Cause I want to." And I said, "That's amazing." And she opened up her own center and it's beautiful. And it's actually Joy in Newtown. And I believe there's enough healing for everybody. So, everybody can do things. And as she did that, she pushed me to create a center.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, these clients were coming in and I was helping them over the last 10 years. And I was like, "You have these innate gifts. Like, you are really something special. And once we clear all this out of you," I said, "I really want you to come to True if you want to and help people."
Mhm.
And so everybody that works at True was a client
Oh, wow.
that I was able to help find their gifts and find themselves. And then also my massage school teacher and my Reiki master come in a couple of times. My Reiki master comes in from Massachusetts once a month. And my massage school teacher is actually the body corrective therapist there twice a week at True.
Oh, nice.
So it's a family. And so I love the fact that the people that have helped me are there, and the people that I've been able to help get to where they need to be are helping others. And it's just this beautiful chain reaction of helping and healing and happiness. I love it.
So one's coming from Massachusetts. The
Yeah,
massage
once a
therapist,
month.
yeah, once a month. Massage therapist is coming twice a week.
Yeah.
Everyone's coming to Bensalem. Now, you're on Humeville Road. Now,
Yeah.
it's a busy road. How do you make it a quiet, healing place? And again, that's an impossible thing most of the time. But to make it, if anyone knows where you're located, it's on Humeville Road. If it's a busy double line street. So it's a busy cosmopolitan area. Then you make this quiet space to heal. That's a big transition. So when they walk into your space, how does that come about where you size them up real quick, and you're very good at that, and then you're like, from the beginning, I've seen it. And again, I'm raised Catholic, didn't believe anything whatsoever. So again, Catholic school, you don't believe in I was never allowed to play with a Ouija board, nothing. So
Well, I don't do the Ouija
no,
board
I know you
either.
don't. I know you don't. But when I didn't know what Reiki is at all. So I
Yeah.
looked it up. So talking to you and discovering this and alignment. And so how do you make this a calming center from the outside world of, especially like you come from Northeast Philly, Bucks County, very busy, very traumatic around you, a lot of chaos, and you make it a calm healing space.
So when you come in as you are, in other words, you're not judged. I don't believe anybody comes into this world carrying this baggage. I feel like this is conditioned onto them. Like we're born naked, hungry, and trusting. We're innocent and everything happens around us and to us and we become it. So I always teach people, I'm going to help you unbecome what others put on you and remind you of who you are. So when you come in there, it's a beautiful space. You're greeted by Nicole, my assistant, and you get to come back there and I start talking to you and I call you out on the stuff that you didn't think anybody knew about you. And I help
Yes, you
you
do.
understand that. And so like I have my own room and I do that there. And then we have all this other stuff there. So it's maybe I've already helped you heal. And now it's, I just want to do a sound bath or I want to do yoga or I have children. What do you have for children? And we have like mindfulness and movement and yoga for kids. I'm starting a parent group and I'm starting a teen group now. I just did a men's group. I do once a month last night and women's group was last week. And so what happens is I bring people together that can talk about things that nobody else talks about. And so every person that comes in, I can look at them and I'm like, I've been where you've been. Like I've been through so much that there's nothing that you and I can't discuss that's going to make me uncomfortable or make you feel less than because we're right here. I'm not here. You're not here. We're right here. And if I could come out of my stuff, you can come out of your stuff if you want to.
Yeah. We both are simpatico with divorced 2 kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trauma there. And I remember going to a support group for men going through divorce and stuff like that, and parents of divorce. But no one really talks about kids, healing kids. When
Yeah.
we were younger, it was get over it. Yeah, exactly. So nowadays, and again, I see this from being a parent. My parents were old school, so it wasn't that. Now it's as a parent, you want to heal your kids, you want to heal the trauma. You feel guilt as a parent or a divorced parent. You feel the guilt that you're putting your kids through, but you want them to heal. You want them to leave better than when from the beginning. You want to heal them and improve them. How do you do that with kids and teens nowadays?
So it's funny. I have this phone, right? This is my personal work phone. Then I have my personal phone. Then we have a work phone. So I have 3 phones. And that phone has more 13 to 24-year-old numbers in that than anything else. They have started coming to me as their therapist because I understand them. So a lot of these kids just want to know the whys. They want to know, like, why am I here? Why did my family do this? Why is this happening? And I'm the person that explains to them, like, listen, you came here to learn what not to be just as much as what to be. You have this amazing opportunity to question everything. When I was raised up of white lies, guilt, trips, fear, expectation, and shame. And if I answered a question, it was disrespectful. But you came here, and the 21st century kids came here to be able to question everything and to learn and to be your own person. You remember the contract you signed up for here. We were told to forget ours.
Yeah.
And what's happening is these kids choose us to love us. They choose to teach us. They trigger the crap out of our PTSD of our own childhoods so they can heal us so we don't screw them up. And that's really what's happening. We are literally at a place in our life right now where the parents are looking at the kids and they're reminded of who they used to be. And I always say, be what you didn't have to your children. You don't have to be mad at your family for what they couldn't do because that was their normal. But now that you're here, be what you needed. So as a mother that's divorced, a single mom kind of thing, I always say to people, you don't want to bring somebody into your children's life that you wouldn't want your child to turn out to be like or marry, because your children look at you as the example of what they want to be, or maybe not. So you always have to remember that you're being watched all the time. You are their person that they're going to mimic or not mimic.
Yeah.
And a lot of times parents will say to me, but I don't want to do the same thing. And I said, but you're not the same person because you already recognize what you don't want to do. So when it comes to kids, children just want to know that they're enough.
Mhm.
The kids nowadays take things so literal and so personal that your words and your tone are everything. And if you do not communicate with them at their level, you're coming down on them and they hold on to all of that as negativity.
Yeah.
So you have to talk to them the way you wanted to be talked to. That's not, so what we have talked about is like the boys are more sensitive, the girls are stronger. What's happening is that the energy of the boys is much more sensitive because the men in the quote unquote 1900s weren't allowed to be sensitive.
Yeah.
So right now we're in a shift where men are raising boys that are calling them out on their stuff that they weren't allowed to be when they were younger, so they can be better fathers and husbands.
Yeah.
And that's what's happening because the boys that are coming in that are born in the 21st century, a lot of them want to be husbands and fathers. And a lot of these girls do want to be moms. There are some that want to run the world and be CEOs, but there's a lot that just want that family dynamic.
Yeah.
I have a lot of girls who are like 18 to 24 that come in and they're really upset because their mom wants them to go to college, their dad wants them to go to college. And especially with young girls from divorce, they want to be parents. And their parents or their mothers are so afraid that they're going to be taken advantage of. So they're putting their own trauma back on them. And these kids in the 21st century are like, no, I know who I am. I know what I want. So what we do at True is we allow them to understand that they have the right to be themselves and it's okay. And it's okay if their parents didn't know what to do. And for young kids, it's all about self-empowerment, self-love. It's about socializing. There's a lot of kids that are sensitive that don't know how to socialize. We give them a safe place to come to. So it's what we didn't get as kids, that it was okay to be unique and it was okay to love ourselves and it was okay to express ourselves. We give that to them at True.
Now, do you have monthly meetings as well? Because I know you have the men's meeting. I know you have the women's meeting. You have the kids meeting as well. Is it
Thing and the teen thing actually is something that just I woke up to 2 days ago and I was like, I got to do this.
yeah.
So I'm in the process of creating a night where I can be there because some days I'm there from 9 to 9. So I have to make sure that I'm ready to have another night of 9 to 9 because I work pretty much every day. I don't work weekends unless I travel or I have an event there. But my goal is to try to bring people, like I have people there that do different things, but when it comes to the meetups and support groups, like I do a lot of that. We do have a grief circle, which I do love. Like the girl that does yoga there, Jeannie, she's the one who does the grief circle. She's also the one who does the mindfulness for kids and the music and movement. It's like yoga, music, and she's been around for 22 years. So to bring those kids together and just let them enjoy and have creativity in a safe, in a fun, safe place is like so fun. Plus to bring in that feeling of you're so great at this and oh my goodness, and look at him and you, like you're doing this together and you should try this too. And bringing them together in a place that's funny and fun, but also reminding them of, who they are because they're little, but they listen to everything.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of these kids are 90-year-olds trapped inside of kid bodies that are calling you out and everything too. They're such like they question everything. Like I always say, like my son said to me when he was like 13, he's like, you really thought that the Pilgrims and Indians like ate food together, Mom, and put a picnic table? And I was like, because that's what happened back in the day. Like we were just told you to believe it.
Yeah.
When these kids are like, they'll come in, they're like, Miss Heather, do you really think this? Miss Heather, do you really think? And they call me out and I'm like, I said, I honestly don't know. I'm like, you can have any opinion you want. And they love the fact that I allow them to not have to conform to what somebody else is telling them.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing. They teach us so much if we listen to them.
That's awesome. And then they can come to you. They see that safe space. They see that it's outside the home, but it's another home base. You know what I mean? Like that's pretty awesome. And you still travel after all this. You do your 9 to 9.
I have tournament beats all over the country.
So you travel all the way to California, wherever, but then you come back to Bucks County. Like
Yeah, it's more warm space. Yeah.
Yeah. And is this your next path? Do you feel like in your heart of hearts that Bucks County is your next home just because you had the opportunity to go anywhere else? You're sought after in a lot of towns, what is your safe space of Bucks County and why is like True that only the end all be all place?
So I like True's location too, because Jersey can come here, Philly can come here, Bucks County can come here. And I had people that drove 2.5 hours from New York yesterday to come see me.
Wow.
I have people that fly in from Florida and like, I'm beyond blessed that they come see me, but they also are like, oh my goodness, you have a center here. You do this, you do that. You have events, you have all these things, but they don't know because True started out as Heather and True were synonymous. And over the last 6 years, True is now a center. It's a group of people that all come together that had the same idea and the same goal to just bring healing and community and like relationships together.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's like I'm trying to pull away from just being the face of True to being maybe the creator of it, but not necessarily the face anymore. So it's like I want people to try everything there and I want people to experience all the things. Yes, I do run the groups and stuff, And they're all my gift bags. It's literally you hang out with me for an hour and a half to 2 hours for $10.
Right.
And we talk about everything. Like I just did a workshop on divorce the other day. And like we talked about divorce last night after we talked about the energy and all this stuff. And so it's like whatever I see is some kind of a pattern, I talk about that in the groups. And then like they all talk together. These guys are now between the age of 24 to 72 are all talking about things and sharing things and helping each other understand. And the same thing with the women's group. And that's what I want for the parenting group. And that's what I want with the teen group, because I feel like when you bring people together, they heal each other. I might be the facilitator, but they're healing each other. Their stories are healing each other, their experiences, their advice.
Yeah.
And so that's what I love about True. And then to be able to say, I'm at a central location where you can come in from Jersey, the 95's here, the Turnpike, the Boulevard, whatever it is, it's all right there.
They don't feel isolated.
No, not at all.
That's awesome. Yeah. As a parent, you feel that, and I have a special needs son. So sometimes you feel that you're on an island. So the healing, the guilt is what kills me. I don't know. Like my son told me the other day, like, why are you so gray right here? I said, because of you. No, but the guilt that you have and the worry, the wonder, I think that parent group would be powerful to me and to others, because the fact of the matter is we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to parent. We're all trying to get them, again, healthier than they were, give them what we didn't have. And I guess that would help people so much. And that's something that, again, I didn't know about this before. I didn't know about the center. And this is, again, it's an eye-opening thing. And that's why I wanted to share this story, your story, with everyone, because it's right in our backyard. It's in Bensalem. You're right there. And then you have all this healing and wealth of knowledge. Like, it's amazing. And that's why I wanted to see what was something that, and I get a little choked up sometimes. And we talked about this before because it's the healing. So we'll get back to the podcast in just a second, but I just want to tell you about what I do. I've been a licensed realtor in Bucks County for the past 20 years. I serve Bucks County, Montgomery County, Philadelphia, New Jersey, all over the place. And I also have helped out hundreds of families buy, sell, and invest in real estate. So if that's something that you're interested in doing, don't hesitate to call me. Reach out, DM me, whatever you need to do, and let's start working together. All right, now we'll be back to the podcast. What was the moment where everything clicked with the light bulb? You divorced, but you have 2 kids. You went through a traumatic injury, but you got through it. No one told you would be successful. You wouldn't do anything. You were on disability. No one told you could. They said you're not going to be able to have kids. You're a divorced mom. You're not going to be able to do this on your own. And now look at this. And this all led you to True. At what point do you feel like your guidance and your spiritual guidance was led to you here? Like, was there a epiphany moment?
So I always say God's my boss, and I don't bring my beliefs into my sessions. I always say it's you have what you believe in. So I say God, energy, universal energy, whatever you believe in. But for me, God's my boss. And I always say that if I am helping his children, he will always make sure my children are taken care of. And that's what I always pray. So I just go through the motions and just do it. I show up, I do my job, I do it. People always think, how do you do it? I'm like, how do you not?
Yeah.
Like, I just know it has to happen. It just has to be done. I think this last year, though, it's been this idea of, I guess this is my life. This is what I'm doing. Like, I just was like, okay, I'm accepting of it. But I was always kind of, what if it goes away? What if my powers go away? What if this happens? Like, you wake up, it's what job am I going to do? It's like this weird thing because there's no explanation of what I do. I just show up and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have any major formal training. I don't sit on a mountain and meditate. I don't go to retreats. I don't have a guru. In fact, people that do this kind of work come to me for their healing. So it's like, why am I special? You know what I mean? So my thing is, if I was given this beautiful opportunity to help people let go of what they don't need anymore, hyper focusing on a past they can't change and can live this best life, and I have this gift, why not just share it?
Yeah.
So I do. I just share it. So I don't know if it's really like an epiphany or an aha moment. It's an acceptance that I am beyond grateful and beyond blessed. And I feel like because I help, like I said, God's children, God took care of my children and he makes sure they're okay. And my kids brought me to True because they wanted to go to Bensalem. So I said, okay. And my kids taught me a lot of what I help other people. Like my son said to me at 14, he goes, why don't you just let me tell you how to hear at me? And I said, okay, tell me what to do. And he goes, stop cutting me off. Don't do this. This bothers me. I need you to do this. And I said, you know what? Thank you. I said, because I didn't know what you needed,
Yeah.
because I thought you needed what I thought you needed.
Yeah. He was
And that's what I
advocating.
tell people. I was like, you need to ask your kids what they need. You need to ask your spouse what they need. You need to ask the people what they need, because what you think they need is what you actually need,
Mhm.
not what they need. And I teach people to understand themselves, to understand the other person. I teach people to let go of the past that they can't control, to stop sabotaging their future by living in the past or the present. So it's like I help people understand by my own experiences how to heal themselves so then they can heal their life.
Mhm.
All I do is put the pieces of the puzzle together for you and give you some guidance and then send you on your way. A lot of people are like, can I come back in 3 weeks? I'm like, nope, 6 months. They're like, why? And I said, because you need to do the work.
Yeah. So you cut him off.
Yeah.
You were like, listen, it's too soon. It's like,
But
show me
yeah.
that.
But what I will do is I have people are like would text me constantly, what's going on in the world? So I'll do like little videos and I'll talk about different things like 90 seconds here and stuff like that. But I believe in you. When you come to me, if you're doing the work, I believe in you and I teach you and I force you to believe in you. And that's with everything we do. With when you have a sound bath, the community that people that are coming together for that, the meditation, for yoga, the people that are coming in for the kids classes, the group, like it's literally like last night, it's like, hey, what's up? Yo, what's up? They went out and hung out this way. It's like people are coming together. Somebody said, I needed something like this. I needed something where I didn't feel alone in what I'm going through, because I didn't realize that 3 people in this room are going through what I'm going through.
Mhm.
And we talked about it. And
Right.
it's not like I'm this like guru and I don't have a degree and I don't know everything, but for some reason I know a lot. It
Listen, that's something. I mean,
just through me.
hey, it's coming from somewhere, divine power, whatever.
Exactly.
You were talking about how you're there 9 to 9, you're running the groups, but you built this amazing team. Is there a point where Heather moves away a little bit from True? Yes, you're the founder, yes, but is there a way to pull back a little bit? Is there an exit strategy, or is it just full 24/7 go?
My clients would not want to hear that I ever
Yes,
leave Trip.
obviously.
Will I expand throughout the country? Yes. Will I travel more when my daughter finishes high school, which is this year? Yes. Will True still be there? Yes. Will I still be at True doing certain like, sessions? Yes. Will other people be offering other things in without me being there? Yes. But what the timeline is for that, I don't really know.
Mhm.
I just know that every time something opens up, I get pushed into it, but I'm never not going to have True right now. Like I can't see closing True. I can see growing it.
Yeah.
I can see possibly moving it in Bucks County somewhere, but not necessarily closing it. If anything, it'll just be more people offering more services for more things, and with me still being a part of it.
Would you move it somewhere else, or would you keep the Huonville location open and then move to another location in Bucks County?
I think whatever
I
gives
know that's a hard
everybody
question
what
to
they
answer.
need. Yeah, so it's almost like if the thing is we have sound and we have a lot of groups and we have classes and workshops. And so if we expand and I start having more people coming in and I need bigger space, then that's what I want to do. Or if I need more spaces for healing rooms, that's what I want to do. Or my goal was actually to open up a kids' True,
Oh,
where
yeah.
basically it was a whole center just for kids. That's a lot of work though.
Yeah.
So I figured just do bits and pieces because I do feel like it starts in the youth and they have to feel safe and they have to love themselves. They have to know themselves. They have to know their boundaries. They have to understand who they are and their worth, because that's what us as adults are learning how to do now.
Mhm.
We're unbecoming the conditioning that we have to be everybody's everything, that we're not allowed to say no, that we have to do what everybody else tells us to. And listen, I believe in consequences and I believe in boundaries and I believe that children have to have structure, but they also have to have the ability to be themselves without feeling guilty for it.
Mhm.
And I feel like if people really look at the children, they're teaching us what we weren't allowed to learn because nobody was accepting of it before. It starts at home. It starts with your kids. It starts with your inner child. It's all that healing because like even with the word divorce last night and this whole week, that's been like a big theme. And divorce, even my last session before you, the remote, basically divorce is not failure. it's an unalignment between two people that tried to make it work and didn't make it work. And now you're not aligned anymore and you're forcing something to happen that's never going to happen. And a lot of times one person's trying and another person isn't. And so you can't look at it as a failure because you're judging it by what you were taught. You have to look at each individual person and you have to think about it, because when you look at yourself, comparing it to your childhood or to other people, you're going to feel like a failure.
Yeah.
But somebody said to me the other day, I did a workshop the other day on divorce, and it was women. And I said to them, I said, what do you feel divorce is? And they both said failure. And I said, can I ask you a question? And they said, yeah. I said, how long your parents been together? And they told me. And I said, do you know that women from divorce do not look at divorce as failure, but women that come from households where there's no divorce look at it as failure?
Yeah.
So it's really about what you come from, what your beliefs are, and your perception of things, of why you would look at things as a negative or positive. And that's unbecoming the conditioning. And that's what I love about the kids, because they're coming in now and you can't condition them. This is the most unprogrammable generation out there. And so when you talk to your kids, remember, listen to what they're telling you.
Yeah.
And don't try to raise them the way you were raised.
Yeah.
Let them help you raise them.
It's been a learning experience. First off, I came from a great family. My parents are still married. They were 54 years on together, dating and all that stuff from last week. Special needs was not something that was ever talked about, especially in Catholic school. That was never a thing. So learning how to raise a child with special needs. And again, he's high functioning. So I know some people have higher trauma than that or have higher difficulties than I do, but it's still something that I never knew how to do before. And then at the same time, as a divorced dad, I had no clue, all new to me. If I knew about this, I think I would have reached out sooner. Big looking back moment. But I think this is important. Your story is important because other people might not know about this. I might not know about the healing. It might not know about the support groups. We live in a world where there's so much technology, there's so much information, but there's no connection. There's no healing with it. We're so connected, but we're so isolated. Do you know what I mean?
I agree with you.
And I think that when we spoke before, it was a real big connection. It was quick, and that was amazing. And we weren't even looking at each other. And I was like, is she looking at me right now? Is she she's seeing right through me? And that was something, and that's why I was so blown away by your story. And the fact of the matter is, and I said this before, you're right in our backyard. You're right here. We're so lucky to live in an area like we have CHOP, which is one of the number one hospitals in the world. And we have such great stories. We have such powerful people and great people in our community. And you came to Bucks County for that reason. And spiritual way, your kids guided you this way. Now that your youngest is graduating high school, congratulations. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
So it's right in our backyard. And I feel like if more people don't know about that now, they need to know. And so how would they get in touch with you to do a session? How does that work?
I have truehealingcenter.com. That's when you see all the events, and then you can learn about True, what we are and what we do. And then we're on Instagram under True Healing Center. We're under Facebook under True Healing Center. We're on TikTok under True Healing Center. Like basically everything's True Healing Center, TRU Healing Center. And as far as with me, you have to call the number to have an appointment with me, because since I specialize in trauma, I actually have my assistant will go, and if people need me for an emergency, I'll go in, stay late. If we have a cancellation, we fit it in, because
your
people
assistant's
need
amazing,
that immediately. Oh my God, she's amazing.
What do you need? Here's what it is. Heather's too busy. Not too busy, but she's got you running. She's got you.
I'm telling you, she's becoming super intuitive. She knows people come in. That's, oh my gosh, it's my dad's birthday today. And I was like, Nicole did that. She's amazing. She is definitely my work wife. I love her.
That's awesome.
She keeps me grounded. She keeps me on track. She keeps me fed. Very important.
Where do you hold on?
Where
do you go? Is there local spots that you like right there around Bensalem?
Steve will either go and grab me Red House, which is right next door.
Yeah.
Jill Bro, I love the chicken fingers at the pizza shop next door, and I like the burgers from Dog and Bull. So I'll get her to go there. And then I like Panera soup. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. What's your favorite go-to Panera soup?
Oh, it's the chicken and wild rice.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Bagelocity's soups. So, it's like
Yes, they're actually really good.
yeah,
I just never really think about them because
I
they're,
know.
like, literally right from my house. I don't know why.
I know, you were thinking for bagels, but, like, their soups are pretty darn good
They
too.
are really good. I'm a
So,
big soup person. I love
yes.
soup.
I really appreciate your time with this, and I think that your story is something that can help out so many people, especially in Bucks County. There's a lot of trauma, there's a lot of people, like, that need help. I thought about doing something for divorced dads navigating the real estate market, just because what to do with divorce. And that was something, but again, the type of, because I can't heal like you can whatsoever. You, again, and you've got the reviews, you've got so many people commenting about your success, and it's well deserved. And I just want to thank you again. And all your success is well deserved. And I wish you many years of success. So thank you again.
Thank you so much.
No problem. I really appreciate you coming on the program. And again, you can find Heather at truehealingcenter.com. She's got so many. If you look at the website, you see her whole crew and their bios, and it's so impressive. They're massage therapists, everything. Like I said, they got Reiki coming in, everything. And go check her out. And thank you for your time, guys.
Thank you.
No problem. Have a great day, Heather. Thanks for joining the podcast today. If you want to hear more, click the link below and check out our other episodes. If you're looking to be on the podcast, feel free to reach out to me, DM me, whatever you need to do. I'd love to hear your voice. I'd love to share your stories. Have a good one.